money creation. Now, every unit of national currency, whether it's in this form right here or it is on a record in somebody's account, it represents a debt, and it is the government that borrows these and the central banks prints them to lend them. So the government is obligated to pay back every currency created back to the central bank with interest, but it just pays the interest. Similarly, when commercial banks extend credit or they process promissory notes, new money is entered into the public system. It's monies of account, and this expands the money supply. Every time we see some promissory note being signed in the bank, and the bank acquires it and takes it to process and brings it back, and there's new credits on an account, that is new currency. Not in this form, but in digital currency. But it still represents an obligation of the government to the central bank. This is why this is a debt note. Alright, so what's the big deal, right? This is a debt. So what? Well, when we exchange our time and our energy for this, we are giving substance, and we are actually discharging the debt and the obligation of the government. In other words, we are kind of like paying the government's debt. We provide something called substance, and the government is providing a promise. So we come in and say, hey, I will accept this for my time and energy, no problem. Why? Because then I'll take it up with government. Because if I pay the government's debt, then the government is indebted to me. Substance is in equity more valuable and more honorable than promise or a form. If you have substance and you say, I want to change this substance for something else, another substance, you say, well, time and energy went into this substance to create this. Time and energy went into creating this. So substance for substance, if both of these individuals who created this decided to accept each other's productive energy, this is payment. This is equal trade. This is substance for substance. But if the one offering substance, and then there's this one right here saying, I promise to pay, this is not payment. He may satisfy the payment by saying, hey, I will give you this promise as evidence that you have rights to come and demand the money from me, and I will give you title rights to this. If I don't pay you back, you can have this. So if the one who is offering this accepts that, then that is a satisfaction, but it's not payment. Payment is substance for substance. So when we see this, an obligation of the government to the bank, the government can only offer a promise, no substance. Now this is why when we trade our time and energy for this, we acquire all the rights. We acquire legal title, meaning we can say, I am the owner of this, right? And I get to possess it. It's mine, right? And then we acquire beneficial title, meaning that we can then choose how we're going to benefit from it. And we can even assign it to somebody. Say, hey, I want you, I'm going to trust you. Like, you say, I'm going to entrust you to buy something for your baby sister. Boom. So you're assigning this to somebody to get something for somebody else. So you have gained all the rights to this when you exchange your labor and time, because you have substance. This is a promise. So now, if and when any type of debt is created in the public, it is going to be considered national currency, and every national currency represents an obligation of the government. Therefore, when we see a bill like from Belize Electricity Limited, right, and BEL now provides a bill of $500, let's say, that is a new debt that it is creating. And every new debt that gets created is a national currency that is now an obligation of the government. And therefore, when we accept this and expressly say accept, it is the same thing as that we accept this for our labor, our time, our energy. We accept it. When we accept this, we acquire beneficial rights, legal title, beneficial title. When we get a bill and we see that it is creating brand new currency, this is a debt which we have a beneficial right in because we're the only one offering substance, therefore giving us a claim, a beneficial claim, in where we can assign this, bam, as if it was this, to the government. And because it is the government's obligation in the first place, that every new currency that gets created is its obligation, so he's always the obligor. By us assigning this to the government, appointing them as trustee to discharge its own obligation and to use the beneficial interest being provided in this to discharge the obligation from this account. That's a set off using equitable accounting principles.